Hello everyone, it's GlitchNOut, and welcome back to the 12th episode of the Minecraft Manual. So yeah, we're starting in the Nether today because I have a slight predicament that involves this thing right here. I was moving the portal up a little bit, but I forgot to bring a flint and steel, so we're going to try a few methods here to relight our portal, and one of them involves this ghast, which is just completely ignoring me right now. Hello, sir. You know what? Nope. Option number 2. We're gonna mine gold and then barter with the piglins to get some iron so that we can make a flint and steel. Yay. However, there are two small issues with this strategy. One of them is the piglins, which there actually don't seem to be that many around, and the other one is the fact that I've actually mined a lot of the gold in the area, so there's not going to be as much as there used to be, but hopefully we can just grab some of this gold using our fortune 3 and then go into a crafting interface and barter with some piglins, and then they'll give us iron nuggets, which we can then craft down into the down into iron ingots, which we'll use to convert our piece of flint to a flint steel. And I also just got a soul speed 1 book, which is actually really cool because I do need soul speed on my boots, but I don't have them right now. So yeah, I guess I'll just barter with the piglins until we get enough iron. So I've traded roughly 20 gold ingots, and so we're gonna mine down here and see what items that we've gotten. And it doesn't look like we got any iron nuggets, but we did get a bunch of other stuff, including ender pearls, crying obsidian, nether bricks, some spectral arrows, quartz, gravel, a bunch of stuff, you know. So this is a very good way to get a lot of resources, and we're definitely gonna set up a farm for this in the future. And yeah, these guys just went in there all by themselves. I guess it's back to the mining. So I've got a ghast in pretty good position, so I guess I kind of wanted to try out the first method and see if we can get this thing to work. I'm going to stand on the opposite side of this portal, and then... Oh, dude! Oh no, I messed that up. Oh, and it despawned. Sad. So after trading another 30 ingots with the piglins, we now have 55 iron nuggets, and we got way more than we actually needed. This will make 6 of the iron ingots, and we actually don't need that many. So yeah, now we have a flint and steel. So it literally took me about an hour just to do this, because I have to go pretty far to find gold, the nether gold ore now, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, if we go ahead and light this portal, hop back into the overworld, and we can finally get on with the episode. Because yes, today we're going to be making the nether portal for our base, the actual like nether part of the nether portal. I don't know if I've said this before in the episode. Like I said, it's actually been a whole day. I had to take a break because you know, I played a little bit too much Minecraft today, so yesterday, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go gather some materials now, and then we can get onto this build. The materials have been gathered, and it's mainly quartz and the various stone types, because yeah, you'll see in a second. But before we go there, I actually do want to finish enchanting my trident, because I do enchant some books every once in a while, and if I come through here, we should have a channeling book, which we're gonna put on this trident. And so we're just gonna come over to the anvil, go ahead and put that on, and we'll call it the glitchy fork. It's not actually glitchy, but why not? Well, sends lightning down from the sky, and at one point there are various glitches that you can do with that, so why not just tie that in a little bit. But yeah, let's go to the nether. We're in the nether, and the first thing I wanted to do was actually expand this portal, but before we do that, I want to make sure I have my flint and steel so I don't get caught in the nether again like I did last time. So we're gonna go ahead and break that. And one weird glitch is that the larger a portal is, the louder it is when it breaks. I think that's not supposed to be a feature of the game, right? But yeah, we're gonna be making this into a 7x7 portal, so we're actually gonna be bringing it out even farther on this direction, and then over here we should bring it out more. And if I go ahead and take some blocks right here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So yeah, let me get this done real quick, and then we can move on to the next step. The portal has now been resized, and it's looking pretty big. I didn't realize it was this big originally, but I guess that's because I was in creative mode. And I guess things don't look as big in creative mode because you can fly, right? We'll be able to fly soon, but for now, we're stuck on the ground. But yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is actually go up a couple blocks, so like that. That should be 4 blocks, and then one more, come over one, and then place a couple blocks here. And so basically we're gonna be placing a little circle, and I'll actually put the image of the circle on the screen right now. It's you can go find the circle on plots.co.uk. It's a really good circle building website. Yeah, pretty simple to use, but it's incredibly effective. And if you're doing like huge circles, use it, because it is way better than just handmade circles. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that real quick. So yeah, if you do make a circle, use this website, because it is pretty amazing. But yeah, I think what I gotta do now is just go ahead and put the circle in. So that's step 2. Step 2 is now complete, and this thing is looking pretty awesome so far. It's not complete, nowhere near complete, and we actually don't have the most important part of it in yet. But this portal is looking pretty grand. But yeah, the next thing we want to do is actually bring in the stone, and we're going to be going one layer in, so kind of inset this stone, and then just bring it back and fill in this entire area like so. And it should turn out pretty well. So yeah, let me do it on this side and the other side, and then we can move on to one of the final steps, which will be texturing. All the stone has now been filled in, and you'll also notice I put in a couple slabs on the edge here, and that basically just hides the obsidian a little bit. Couldn't do that on the side because no vertical slabs or vertical slabs yet in Minecraft. Hopefully one day. But yeah, time for the texturing. I've brought a stone cutter in, and so basically right now all we have is this flat looking area, and what we're gonna be doing is bringing in some of our andesite and cobble into the mix. And so what we're gonna be doing is just taking some of the andesite and then mixing it in, and try to do it maybe in like kind of vein shapes, so like kind of like that. You can also put a couple spots in, but it kind of makes a little bit more sense if it's in like little patches instead of just dotted around. Though if that's the kind of style you're going for, that's completely fine. I'm also going to come up here, do the same thing. I really need to get some scaffolding right now. I'm just using this nether rack, but hopefully we can find a jungle, you know, get a little bit of that good stuff. And then I'm also mixing in the cobble. And by the way, you can just, since 1.16, you can actually swap your items by pressing your swap items within your inventory, so that's really handy. I'm gonna mix in a little bit more of this. Maybe put one right there, one right there, like that. Maybe 2 more right, or 3 more right there. Break that down, and then maybe a bit more like that. One right there, one right here, maybe even 2 on the border here. So, oh, not right there, but yeah. If we take a look now, that should look a whole lot better. I think that there still needs to be a little bit of cobble right there, so I'm gonna go in. On my testing world when I built this, I used a world edit to do this texturing, and I gotta say, it kind of just looks better when I do it by hand because I can control it more. So yeah, if we take a look back, that's looking pretty good. But yeah, basically now we need to do it on these edges right here, and we're actually doing something special for these ones. We also need to do it on this side, and then we can kind of finish up this build with some of the road designs that we're going to be using for like our nether hub in the future. The texturing is now all done, and the one problem I have is this part right here. It's looking a little bit flat. Like you might notice, we could add a little bit more curve to this, and the way we're going to do that is by adding some slabs here and there, just to kind of break up the build a tiny bit. So we're only going to go 1 high like that, and so what this does is kind of makes this almost rocky feel that we're trying to go for. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to do a little bit on the bottom here too, just every once in a while, kind of like texturing, but it's just with more depth. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Come out from the bottom there. That's looking a lot better. And so yeah, basically we're gonna do that on all 4 sides of the circle. The texturing is now all done, and yeah, this is basically the entire portal. So the hub is gonna be kind of unique. I have taken a little bit of inspiration from a YouTuber named Mythical Sausage. And yeah, so we're going to be using soil roads. I don't know if he took inspiration from someone else, but I saw it was a really good idea, so we're going to use that. Basically, we're going to take some staircases down from these little areas right here. And then we're going to have 3 wide soul sand rows, and it just happens that this should be directly lined up with this. So that's actually really convenient. This is the road, of course, to our Nether fortress. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna need a couple stairs, so I think I'm gonna grab a 6 like this, and then also we're gonna need to turn some of this blackstone into the polished blackstone bricks. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna be I actually need more than that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another 6, and then pretty simple. We're gonna break away some of these blocks. Gonna go to the middle 3, place them down, then go underneath. I think I made a little too many of the things, but it should be fine. We might need it for the other side. And then one more set of stairs going like this, and then like underneath it we're gonna have the soul sand or soul soil, because soul sand will slow you down if you don't have soul speed, and we definitely don't want that, because in case we lose our soul speed boots, right? That'd be horrible. We're gonna be like that, and then we're gonna take our blackstone bricks like this, curve them along like this, and then also put one right there. And we're actually making a couple slabs out of this stuff, so let's go ahead and do that. Like that, one there, and then right there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that forward. And that should basically be the entire thing. I'm also going to close it off right there, and I'm probably gonna close it off on the other side. So come over here. Where is it? How did I close it off on this side? Like that. Oh, did I do it on this side? Yeah, I guess I did. But yeah, that's pretty simple. I'm going to spruce up the bottom of this, probably put some like support pillars down. But yeah, I think it's time for me to like just do some digging, and then also do a little bit of work just neatening up everything. So I guess we'll just do a big cut right here, and then when we're done, this entire portal should be complete. A little bit of work has now been done, and yeah, this is the design that we have for the road, and it might change, so if you guys have any tips, make sure to leave them down in the description. Basically, we have these supports coming down, and these are going to be wider as they go down, but because this is such a short area, we're just doing this. We're going to add the chiseled blackstone to basically add a little bit of detail. And then up here, we have the soul sand road. And then underneath, we have a couple slabs to hide the soul soil, because I don't feel like that's something that we want to show. But yeah, we're basically going to have a road like this going all the way to the Nether fortress. So yeah, I'm probably going to actually start streaming a little bit soon. So yeah, you can catch me on twitch.tv/lagginout, not glitchnout, lagginout, which is the name of my second channel actually. But yeah, this is going to be quite a lot of grind. The resources aren't that bad, but, you know, we're probably going to have to set up a piglin bartering system soon, too, because we can get the blackstone from that. But, yeah, this project is pretty much done. I also did a little bit of terraforming here, if that's what you can call it in the Nether. And basically, we're making a kind of, like, support coming down from the sky, down from, like, this area, because before it was just floating. And then I also tore back the land a little bit here. So, yeah, that's looking pretty good. This is not finished for sure, but it is looking a little bit nicer than it was before. So that's kind of what we're going for, right? I'm also gonna go ahead and cover up some of these holes. I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing over here, guys? Well, no loitering, okay? No loitering. Thank you. I think I left one down there, but that's fine. Yeah, I think this is pretty much done, and now we can head back to the overworld. Back in the overworld, I've spent some time gathering a few materials. As you can see, we have a mix of nether blocks and overworld blocks, and that's because we're going to be finally finishing this tunnel that leads to our nether farming district over there. And so yeah, I'm kind of just going to go through the steps of this one. It's going to be just a little build, just a little one, because we don't have too much time left in the episode. But yeah, to start off with, I'm just going to be breaking out random blocks like this in the walls, and this is basically going to create more texture and depth in the build, and that's kind of what we're going for, because we don't want the walls of this thing to just be flat, so having this nice texturing can really just make it look so much more detailed, so much better. And you know, we're always looking to make the best builds possible, right? So yeah, we're just gonna be going on each wall, texturing it, and then also doing it on the roof. Okay, so the walls have been dug out, and it's looking kind of ugly right now, but right now what we're gonna be doing is actually taking some of our obsidian and then coming in here and making a fake portal, so that we can kind of have a cool, like, divider between the Nether and the overworld, because that's what I'm gonna be doing. Basically a Nether overworld combo, and one side's gonna be the Nether, because you know this is the Nether farming area, and then this is the overworld. But you see, because we're doing a custom portal, we can actually mix in some of the custom the crying obsidian, because we're not actually gonna be lighting the portal. So that's pretty cool. We get to have this really nice glowing texture, and I believe crying obsidian does give some light off, so that's even cooler. Just take a little step back. That looks pretty awesome. And I think what we're gonna be doing is actually starting with the overworld side. And so you see right here the floor is grass, because you know it's the floor. So I've actually brought some grass in, and I'm going to be basically breaking out this whole bottom layer and then replacing it with the grass and a bit of coarse dirt. The floor is all in, looking pretty good. And so next what we're going to be doing actually is not taking the string, taking the bones and making a bit of bone meal, and then we're just going to be placing this down on the inside of this area. And we don't actually want that much grass, so we're actually going to be breaking the majority of this. But that kind of just gives us a little bit of texture that we would like to have. So yeah, I'm just going to be placing the bone meal like this, keeping like 1 or 2 pieces of grass. And what you can also do is use a pair of shears to break the grass, and then you'll collect the actual grass block. But you know what, it's pretty simple. We can already just do this. And then I'm also going to be mixing in a couple of flowers here and there, and that's pretty good looking right now. But we still have the walls to deal with, because right now these things are just looking kind of plain, looking kind of gross, and we can actually do something to make this look a lot better, and that's going to be adding more texturing. And so we're going to be actually bringing in the stone, the various stone types, of the cobblestone, the andesite, into the build like we did with the first build of the episode. And so yeah, just going in with these kind of veiny areas of the blocks, and what this does is, you know, I've already said, but it does make it look quite a lot nicer. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We're also gonna have to get rid of these little blemishes right here. So like this dirt, there was some gravel somewhere over there, so we're gonna have to get rid of that. And I just spun my camera really weird just now. And so yeah, I think this is looking pretty good so far. There is one more thing I want to add after this. It's a bit more expensive, but I think it does add a lot of character to the build. And so yeah, I think the first thing we got to do is get rid of this grass, right? Or this dirt. So I'm just going to stand right here. And then in 3, 2, 1, the dirt is all gone. Like that. Pretty simple. And yeah, I also have a couple ores in the chest. And so this is the more expensive part. We're going to be taking some of our ores and then just mixing them in very occasionally to kind of add some color, give it a little bit of pop, and also make us look more rich than we actually are. So I've actually taken every last bit of emerald ore that I have to my name, and then we're just be putting that everywhere. Also some of the iron ore. I might even put some diamond ore in the future. All depends. But yeah, I feel like this part is like the part that just brings it all to life. So we're gonna have this nice looking area. Looks pretty good. And that should be the overworld side of this thing completely done. So for the nether side, the floor is going to be pretty similar to the overworld side. Actually, we're going to be using nether rack and then also crimson nylium, and this is very similar. These two blocks are like extremely similar. Well, I mean, they're a little bit different, but if you look at that, it makes it look really nice to have this kind of combos. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Make all this floor a mix of the netherrack and nylium, and then we can move on to the next step. The floor is in, and the next step is actually going to be expanding on the on the nylium to add more of it. So what we're gonna be doing actually is bone mealing the ground near it, and what this should do is make the ground majority nylium, because I personally think that the nylium has more color. And we're going to be making the walls out of the netherrack, so I think that having a little bit more color on the floor will actually be better. And yeah, now we're going to be doing something a little bit grindy, which is going to be filling in this entire wall with the netherrack. But for you guys, you'll just have to see it in a quick snap, so I'm going to snap in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All done. It's looking really red though right now, so what we're going to actually do is some similar texturing. We're going to be bringing in some of the nether gold ore here and there. I'm trying to make it look like it's kind of in the veins that Minecraft generates them in, so not too often, but at the same time in these little patches when they do spawn, because they're usually not in just one veins, you know. And so we're just gonna go ahead and mix these in real quick, and then after that we can actually use some of the nether quartz ore, which is another ore from the nether. That's actually kind of hard to say. But yeah, this kind of brings in a little bit of the white color, which we really need in this build. And yeah, it looks really nice too. You know, the texture of the quartz, it may look a little bit weird, but I personally think it's a pretty decent block. Maybe not for your average builds, but for this, I guess it does kind of fit in because it is part of the landscape. It's like dirt for terraforming, you know? Okay, but now it's time to put in the little foliage on the ground, and so we're going to be putting in some of these little things right here and there. And this is kind of like the grass, and then for the flowers, I'm using the fungus. And this looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put one right there, maybe break this one and move it to here. There we go. That's looking pretty cool. And then the last thing we got to do is hang some of these vines from the ceiling. And what I'm going to do to make sure they don't grow anymore is to put a piece of string under them. You can barely see the string, but it is there. I think I placed that in the right spot, right? And so yeah, we can kind of just put this in, maybe one right here. Maybe a short one right here. And we kind of look back on this and see maybe where do we need another one. Maybe one more right there, and perhaps even a short one right there. But yeah, that's looking pretty cool. This is this thing pretty much finished. It was a pretty quick build, like I said, but walking through this now, it just looks way better, just way better in every single way. We can come over to this area, which we still need to transform, probably in a future episode. This thing has been working passively to generate us some stuff. Put that back in there. So yeah, this farm will just generate over time. But if we just come over here, it looks kind of like the nether's infesting this area. If we just walk through, it's very immersive. I like this portal area. I was thinking about lighting the portal, but in the end, I decided not to because one, you could accidentally get trapped in it, and if we ever need to bring mobs over here, they go through the portal instantly, so we can just walk through it. But I thought it would just be more convenient, and it's easier to see, and it's kind of more like a realistic version. Like you're looking through the portal instead of that purple veil. It's like the actual nether behind it, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that this is all I'm gonna have time for in this episode. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. This has been GlitchNOut. Goodbye, everyone.